Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Hello. I'm back. Missed you all so much last week, but I had to get that rest, But I am so delighted and happy to be back. I did miss you all very, very much. So I am back and ready today. So I hope that everybody was safe and took care and had fun last week. I know I did. Okay, I'm not gonna rub it in anymore. I'm good. Okay, so you know that this month we are reaching out for goals. It is so important to know what we want to do in life, where we want to go. And there's just certain things that we have to do in order to make sure that we can reach those goals, our purpose, our passion, whatever it is in life that we want to do, whether it's for us, others, family members, whatever. So it is key to always follow through with those things that you love to do. Sometimes you might like to do something and people were like, well, why do you like to do that? Well, why do you like to get out in the hot sun? Some people, really like to spend time in their yards. They'll mow their own yards. Not that they can't afford to get someone to do it, but they rather get out there and do it themselves, take care of their plants and all of this. And it's because they enjoy doing it. They have a goal to have a beautiful yard that makes them feel relaxed when they go outside and see it. So that's what they work towards doing. And that's what we have to do with all of our goals as we go forward and do that. So today I am going to be talking about strengthening key items leads to learning and success. That strengthening key items leads to learning and success. And the acronym for that is SKILLS. Okay. And I want to give a shout out to Deacon Holmes and to Agnes. Thank y'all for tuning in. And hello, Kendrick. How are you? So happy to see you on here today. Let me know when you reach Jayville so we can hit you up. But I want to talk about this today because, a lot of people think that I need to work on my weaknesses. I need to find out what my weaknesses are and work on those. That's important. That's what I need to do. And that is so far from the truth. What we need to actually do is, yes, we do need to take an assessment or sit down and think about it to determine what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. However, when you do find out what they are, you're going to take those weaknesses and put them over in a bucket, put them on a shelf, something else. But we're not going to even worry about them anymore, right? You just want to identify those things that you know that you may not be strong in. Okay, because if you take a job or a position in an organization, something that someone asks you to do, and your skills the skills that it takes to do that particular job are in your weak bucket, then what do you think is going to happen? Chances are you may not fare well in that position, whether it be voluntary or at work or whatever, because although you saw those attributes that they were asking for in order to fill that job, or you thought you knew what they were, but those were your weaknesses. So you want to know what your strengths are, so you know you're going to look for something that takes in those particular skills, right? So your strong suit and what's not so strong. So, that's just like when you're playing, what is it? You play spades or rummy. Excuse me. You you want to look in your hand and see what's my strong cards and what's not so good, and get rid of your weak ones when you think it's a good opportunity, and use your strong ones when you think you got a real win. You can maneuver and put your strategy in, right? So that's the same thing that happens with your skills. Remember, I'm going to take my strengths and I'm going to work with those, but I'm going to take those weaknesses and put them on the shelf somewhere. All right. As you focus on your strengths, it is also good if you know what is your purpose in life, because sometimes you may, see someone else doing something and I know what, I think I would like to do that. But would you really like to do it? Or you see that person doing it and they just do it so comfortably that you think, oh, that would be so fun to do. Like right now, I have this thing about chess. Never played chess, never knew anyone that I know of that has played chess or plays chess. But it's just something I have wanted to learn how to do for probably over a year. Well, hopefully, my husband for Christmas bought me a game that's supposed to help me learn. I haven't used it yet, but don't tell him. So, but when I actually learn how to play, is it going to be something I like, or is it something that my skills just don't resonate with? I'll find out soon. All right. So know those purposes. And so what I was saying was your purpose. So if something is your purpose and God is giving you that purpose, He also is going to give you the skills and the talents that you need in order to make sure that you are able to do that particular purpose or passion goal that you have in life, right? So then that means that you got the right stuff. So your tools that you're going to need needs to be relevant. They need to stay new because things change. You have to be innovative. You can't just, stay focused like a horse. The horse, when they're racing, they put those blinders on them so they don't get distracted. So you want to make sure you don't get distracted either. So you got to be, focused on, I know everything in the world is changing. It's changing swiftly. I have to keep up with it. So although, something is my skill, I have to still see how can I improve. Like I would say I have good organizational skills. However, I like to keep a to-do list. So I've been doing that. I'll try all kind of books. Not, I wouldn't say books, but planners, and, see how they work, whatever. Some have been kind of expensive. I've tried the, what is it? I wouldn't say virtual, but the ones on your tablet that you can use. I've done those. I've got a hold to a couple bad ones. One, I'd be, checking, I put in my goals for the day, and then I might check off one. Everything that I put down for the day disappears. I have to start all over again. So, right about 2 months ago, someone gave me as a gift this book. It's like a planner. So I've gone back to the good old paper and pen. So even though this is a big book, I can, go forward and plan ahead, as well as I can look back and see what I was doing last week, a week before, whatever, in case I forget something. So whatever your skills are, even if you think that, hey, I'm the best of the best, again, the world around us is changing. Technology is always changing, so you can always improve. So make sure that you fine tune what you're good at. That's just like when you're out there dancing, going to the clubs, and you might have a dance step and you thought you were good at it, but then you saw somebody else and they had a little tweak they put to it. So what you do, you go home and you practice those tweaks, right? Because you want to make sure, even though you think you're the best in your neighborhood, you got to have all the little tweaks that you can put in it, right? So that's what you want to do with your strengths. Hi, Peggy. Thank you for tuning in. So that means you have to constantly hone in on your strengths. Again, what has changed? When is the last time you've taken a refresher course? You can get it on your jobs, and it's like, okay, I've been doing this for 10 years. I can do it in my sleep. And you brag about that. Also, when's the last time you had any type training? I don't need any training. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm good at it. I'm excellent. So you're telling me in 10 years, nothing has changed. Nobody in the marketplace has provided any improvements. You haven't got so relaxed in doing it until you do it. So like you said, you could do it in your sleep. That's what you probably do sometimes. And you're not even looking at those details that you used to look at when you first started. Now you're just like kind of glancing over things. So just because you've been doing something for a long time does not mean that you're still at 100%. So you have to take refresher courses, read, find out what's going on, how you can do it better, right? And it's just like, I've been using Word since, if there was a such thing as Word, but every time I, get settled, to come up with a new version. Now I've kept hearing people talk about Google Docs, whatever. That wasn't my interest. I stuck over here with Word. Now I'm kind of behind. So I've gotten some insight from some people. They taught me, and I write everything down, make sure I got notes. Why today of all days I needed to make a new form. I can't find my notes anywhere. So I was determined. I sat here until I figured it out. It's got some kinks in it. I got to iron out, but I had to sit and do that. So even though I may not really be ready to get all into the Google Docs, because it's Google Docs, Google Forms, and it's another one. Forms, docs, and sheets. So I might not be ready for all that, but I've got to, jump into it so I can stay relevant. Someone talks to me about something, I can help them. I'm dealing with young people, so they're not going to be using Word. They're going to be in Google Docs using that, or probably something that I haven't even heard of yet. So regardless of how well you think you are doing in something, someone can always teach you something, and you can always learn something. Yes, you see, Kendrick says yes, because sometimes people get complacent and think they know it all when they never, if I put it up here where I supposed to, I could maybe know. I could not read that. That's too small for me. People get complacent and think they know it all when time never stops. Life keeps evolving. Amen. You are so right, Kendrick. It just keeps going. So you got to keep up with it. All right. So again, I know a lot of people don't like reading, but reading can help you. Boy, it can help you, because you might be reading about one thing and you see some new words, If you're like me, you got to stop. It's like, okay, so exactly what does that mean? A new place. Where is this place exactly? It'll make you want to travel to different places, but it'll also help you with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Good evening, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so you just want to do whatever you can in order to get those strengths even stronger. You know how that is, right? Because I saw that's a good example when I said the stronger. So you know, with all these superheroes, and they get out there and they're the best of the best, whether it's Spider-Man, X-Man, Superman, Batman, with all these new ones, Iron Man, all the different ones. And so they are, until someone comes up with some foreign object or metal or something that takes their power or weakens them or makes the other person so strong that for a while they take out the hero. So what happens? They got to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be the best. They got the best of me. I've got to learn I've got to get in here and do some improvements. I gotta, I gotta shake it up. Like with Iron Man, his whole system got burned up or whatever. So he went back, but when he went back, he didn't make it just to replace the existing model. He had to add some new stuff to it, right? So that's what we have to do. We want to get better and better and better, because there's nothing like doing something and it's boring, it's mundane. If you're going to take your time to do something, you ought to want to do it the best that you can, right? So always strive to be innovative. Take tips from people. Sometimes we don't want to listen to other people. We think we have all the answers, but you can learn. Sometimes it's amazing. I teach, I'm the children's minister, so that is from 5th grade down. Sometimes they'll teach you some things that you're like, okay, wait a minute. They'll ask you a question and it's like, wait a minute, I never studied that. And so, we had that one day and I forgot, they asked me what someone did. And I thought that they were talking about David and Goliath. And they was like, no, not him. And I don't even remember now what it was, but they told me. And so of course I Googled it right quick and found it. And, she was on it. She knew exactly what she was talking about. So that day I learned something. The other facilitator learned something. And it wasn't like we tried to talk her down or say she wasn't right, because we could have just said, hey, never heard of that. I've been studying the Bible since I was 16. I never heard of that. But no, we take the time. If a child says something, if we don't know the exact answer, we're going to try to look it up. So while one person is teaching, the other person is trying to do the research so we can get back with them. And if we don't know, we'll tell them, hey, don't have the answer to that. But guess what? When you come next Sunday, we'll have it. But that was really, really interesting. And that actually was my one of my granddaughters. And at the time, she was 7. And it's like, okay, you got it. You go ahead, girl. But so we can learn from everybody. So where one person is strong in one suit, like, again, I'm going back to those games. So if you got all the hearts and all the spades, somebody else might have all aces and have the aces and king or in the face cards. So even though you have a lot of spades, they still may be able to beat you out because they got some strong stuff too. It's not the same strong stuff you got, but they got some stuff too. So be teachable. Don't ever think that you got all the answers, you know everything. And knowledge does not come by age. You have like Martin Luther King. He went to college when he was 15. Martin Luther King Jr. We have a lot of people that are so intelligent or bright. They're teenagers and they're in college. They're doing things that are way out there. because they just, when I'll say they was in the front of the line when God was giving out the knowledge in that area. So they just got it like that. So we can learn. So just don't be willing to not to listen. Listen. Uh, words. Words are added to the dictionary every year. And I'm not just talking about slang words, because we know they add different slang words, but they actually add other words. So, I do the word genius, and every day it gives me a word. All the words are not new, but it gives me a word, the definition, how to use it in a sentence. And so, that helps you to build your vocabulary. And you need it if you have any children, any grandchildren, great grandchildren. Even though you may not be a teen or young adult, you still need to know all these things, because these kids are doing some work in school that a lot of us were doing when we were in elementary school. No, when we were doing in high school, they're doing it in elementary school. So you have to stay focused and learn as much as you can. Hey, Sister Carol, what's going up? Yes, we're a genius. That's the one. Thank you for the comments. And yes, I love it when y'all comment, because when y'all don't comment, I feel like I'm on here by myself. And so talk back to me. All right. Learn everything that you can, again, related to your strengths. Become a lifelong learner. Some people, I don't want to learn. I'm tired of learning. I got my bachelor's degree. I got 3 masters. I got a doctorate, and I'm working on another doctorate. And when I finish with that, hey, but you may finish with all of that, but what? Technology is still changing. Processes are still changing. Methodologies are still changing. People are inventing new things every day. So you may have all those degrees under your belt, but you can still learn. So don't give up. Be a sponge. Just soak as much up as you can. And then you want to stay relevant. Stay relevant. Don't apply for a job just because you can go up there and you see the required boxes. Oh, they need someone that knows Excel. I can do that. They need someone that can communicate. I can do that. Can you really communicate? Or you may have all those things that they have on there. But when was the last time that you did those things that you're checking off? Like I gave the example, they may say, how are they want somebody that's proficient in Word documents. Okay, so I think I'm good in Word, so I check that off. But they may be looking for someone that's proficient in Google Docs. Remember I told you earlier, I'm not proficient in that. So be careful what you're checking off, because yes, you may talk a good game and get in a position, but it's nothing like getting in a position and then it's like the person going, is that the same person I interviewed, I hired? Or what was wrong with me that day? It's happened to me. So yes, you might get the position, but how long are you going to keep it if you're not able to do what it is that they need you to do? I'm just saying. So just because you knew something back in the day is not going to help you today. And a good example of that is your smartphones, about things changing. Now, your smartphone, it's already smart, right? That's why they call it a smartphone. But, every time you turn around, they're doing what? An update. You got to let your phone update. Why do you think they're updating? They found a bug, or they found a better way of doing something. They found a way to make it faster. They found a way to make the battery last longer. And so they're updating that phone. And then I don't know how the versions go in the Android, but with, the iPhone, back in the day was iPhone 4 or 5, now they're up to 15. But each one of those, although they do provide you with updates, every phone has something different to it. They've learned something. And it's not like, okay, we created that iPhone 15, we could just rest. Whew, that took us a while. No, when they get all the bugs out, it's just like you're on a job. They put in a new system, and they say it's ready to go, and the people that have to use the system, they have all these problems. Well, they never stop. So they've been testing this iPhone 15 for however long. They get it working. They send it out. They have to start again saying, okay, when someone sends in and say, well, this happened, they've got to look into it. And then they're also working on the new technology. They're looking at their competitors. What are their competitors working on? How is this person's camera doing? How are these people going now with the phone that flips? It can do this and it can do that our phone can't do. Do we want to provide a flip phone? Do we want to stay where we are? But they are constantly working on their products. That's how, their stock stays up, how they stay in business. I don't care when you go to an Apple store, it is full of people. And Apple products are not inexpensive. They're good quality products, but I'm just saying, so, but that's what they do. They keep working on it and never stop. So the Energizer Bunny, they have to keep it going to stay relevant, keep everything going. They want it to be something that you want to utilize, and you don't want to utilize junk. When you get something from anybody, you want it to be the best. If you go and purchase a vehicle, you don't want to get a lemon. You don't want to get a vehicle. It's like, well, I thought this vehicle could do this. I thought it could do that. Because, they just have so many things that they create. It's like, it just drives my husband crazy. But in the Genesis has it too, but it's not as, I guess, sensitive as it is in my Armada. But in the Armada, man, if somebody in front of you and they slow down, if you don't slow down as fast as it thinks you should slow down, it's going to slow you down. It's just, and my husband, when he gets in, he won't turn it on. It's like, no. I said, that's because you don't brake. I have to brake. You don't brake. But, it's just those innovations that they're doing. And that's because these people have the skills to do certain things in technology, keep it going, but they never stop. They keep going to make that product better and better and better. So that's the same thing that we have to do with our skills and our strengths that we do. So when you're working on a book, you work on it, and you think, oh, okay, this is good, and then you read it. It's like, nah, I want to change that. Then this is good. Now I want to change that. But you're constantly working on it because you want to do what? You want to give people the best that you can, so that they know what? The next time they won't even question it. Man, that book, she put a foot in that book, boy. I don't know what she was on when she was writing that book, but that Carol Crockett, that's a smoker. It's like, she's selling them like hotcakes. It is good. You better get your copy if you haven't got a copy. Words work, right? The power of those words. But when she was writing it, she took her time. She used all her skills she had to make sure that she was putting together a product that other people would really, really enjoy, right? So that's what we want to do. So that is why I wanted to talk about this topic today. Strengthening, using those strengthening, your strong suit will help you to realize those your purpose, your goals, whatever you're after. It will help you to do that. So remember, those weaknesses, you got to take those strengths and weaknesses, separate them, put those weaknesses on a shelf, in a storage box, or whatever, but put them aside. You don't need them. You want to stress and work on those strengths. So I hope that this topic today assisted you. Like I say, I'm glad to be back, energetic and excited And I am looking forward to Saturday morning. And my topic is going to be winter in spite of detours and obstacles. I kept going. Winter in spite of detours and obstacles. I kept going. And that's going to be about wisdom. Thank you, Kendrick. Watch your words. What you articulate, you activate. In his Carol Crockett voice. So yeah, shout out for my sis. You got to get her book. It's amazing. It's amazing, amazing. And here she is right here. Watch your words. You get your copy today. It's a great, great book. But again, thank you so much for tuning in today. You could have been anywhere else, so I am super excited that you decided to join me. Make sure that you're out there assisting our young men when they're down and out and they need your assistance. Don't shake your head. Reach your hand out and assist them in getting up and building their best lives. And remember to check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org, www.buildyourbestlife.org, where you can look at my calendar of events. And our annual Grateful event will be starting in about 3 weeks, November 13th, running through November 16th. I'm super excited about that. Everybody is ready to go. So you can get the exact dates and who's speaking on what nights. If you go to my calendar of events, you can read the blogs that I put out each Monday at 10 a.m. You can look at the services that I offer. I am a life coach, so I do coaching. I can give consultations, speaking, webinar speaking, and I also wrote a book, Build Your Best Life. It's about your life, your actions, and your credibility, overcoming obstacles to build your best life. So when you're down and out, you don't have to stay down there. Life happens, people make mistakes, but you can overcome those obstacles and build your best life. So if you go on my website, you can order your book and get your autographed copy quickly. If you like the Kindle version, you can go to Amazon.com and get your Kindle version. Either way, you're getting the same book, and I would appreciate it. So remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Hope to see you all Saturday. Be blessed. Bye-bye.